7 sinister supernatural creatures, harbingers of doom. Keep a watchful eye for these mythical creatures. They foretell death and tragedy for all those unfortunate enough to see them. Moth Man. The Moth Man is a creature native to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, who first appeared to a group of men digging a grave in 1966, which is already as ominous a context as you could want. They claim to have seen a winged, human-like creature with glowing red eyes. If that first meeting with him wasn't scary enough, his presence coincided with the collapse of the Silver Bridge that caused the injury and/or death of over 40 people. After the incident, it was said that his presence was prophetic in nature, specifically for times of peril and doom. His power is in the psyche of so many that some even claim to have seen a similar winged creature flying around Chernobyl in the days before the reactor meltdown occurred. Blackbird of Chernobyl. Speaking of winged creatures, sightings of the Blackbird of Chernobyl began just months before the Chernobyl disaster took place in 1986. The creature shares many of the same characteristics as Moth Man: humanoid, winged, covered in dark hair, and glowing red eyes. Sightings of the Blackbird began in the days leading up to the incident. Those who came across it often received mysterious phone calls and suffered terrible nightmares. Sightings continued until the early morning of April 26 when the nuclear reactor blew. Rescue workers and pilots who battled the flames and bravely helped with the evacuation told terrifying stories about a huge black figure flying from the destroyed reactor, circling the black smoke rising from it. This was the last time the Blackbird was sighted, leading some to speculate that its dark deeds were finally fulfilled. 9 Rouge. For this creature, we travel back to the United States and leave the strange, flighted bird men behind and look at a creature much smaller in size. The 9 Rouge, translated literally to Red Dwarf, is said to be found in Detroit, Michigan. The dwarf is said to be a relic of the Ottawa native tribe that once inhabited the area, referring to the creature as the son of their stone god, and the invading European colonists as harbingers of doom. The creature received its French name from the founder of Detroit, Antoine de la Motte Cadillac, after he witnessed it. Over the decades, 9 Rouge has been sighted prior to the Battle of Bloody Run and before the fire of 1805. It was also sighted before General Hull surrendered during the War of 1812 and again before the 1967 Detroit riots. All sightings have been accompanied by an attack from the dwarf himself. Recently, groups have formed to spread awareness about the folkloric origins of the dwarf and consider the creature a guardian of the city rather than a malevolent force. Sciurath. The Sciurath, or the Wailing when translated into English, is a mythological creature that can be found in Welsh folklore. This shrouded creature has long been said to stalk the land and people of Wales. An omen of death, legend has it that if you hear its terrifying moans and shrieks, a dreadful fate awaits you. If the Sciurath is heard near the sea, a fatal shipwreck would soon take place. Worse still, for those unfortunate enough to come face to face with the Sciurath, it is described as a wild-looking creature with long disheveled hair, black pointed teeth, long withered arms, and a wail so mournful that certain death follows in its wake. The Flying Dutchman. This is an old maritime legend that tells of a ghost ship, the Flying Dutchman, that is said to be cursed to sail the seas forever, never to make port or land again. The legend can be traced back to 1790, when John Macdonald first described the ship. Macdonald claimed the Flying Dutchman had attempted to make port in Cape Town during a bad storm but was driven back by the poor weather and was lost to the sea, after which, visions of the ghostly ship appeared. Literary references to the ship continued throughout the end of the 18th century, and sightings of the ship have been prevalent in the 19th and 20th centuries. It is said that the ship's appearance predicts disasters, both maritime and on land. The White Deer. The white deer, also known as the white stag, is unique on this list as it can be found in nature. Thanks to their strange coloration, or lack of it, these albino animals have long been found in myths and folklore around the world. The Celtic people of Europe considered these animals to be messengers from the other world. Specifically, They believed the appearance of the stag was a sign that one had transgressed a taboo against the gods and that sightings of the creature foretold imminent death. The white stag can also be found in the Arthurian legends of England as a symbol of mankind's spiritual quest, as the creature is unable to be captured or slain by mortals. Black-eyed children. Quite possibly the most sinister of all the harbingers of doom on the list, these creatures take the form of children and have pitch-black eyes. While many believe the apparitions to be messengers from beyond the grave, since the early 1960s, reports of black-eyed children have regularly been sighted in and around Cannock Chase, England. In 2015, it became national news when a group of paranormal investigators spotted and caught on camera an alleged black-eyed girl in a field near the area. They're often reported to be seen hitchhiking or panhandling on the sides of roads and sometimes even come to the front doorsteps of residential homes. The debate as to the exact nature of the children continues, with some believing they are aliens, vampires, and ghosts, among other entities. But what is certain is that those who have seen these strange children often feel that they were extremely dangerous, though they could not explain why.